All right, welcome back. So I'm gonna play this video and then we'll talk. Okay. This is a story that's been going viral on the internet for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. So I'm just gonna play the video and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay. So just listen carefully and then we'll talk. Okay.
6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh.
Her name is Isis. She's a
So
YouTuber.
I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy.
That's crazy. Now she said she asked her daughter, "Did somebody touch you?" 4-year-old daughter, and the daughter says, "Yes, Dad." That's crazy. Let's keep going.
I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister, because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters.
Wow, that's crazy.
Who are only 2 and 4 years old.
Keep in mind, these are his biological daughters, by the way.
Um,
That's wild, man.
it still feels like a dream. 6 weeks ago,
All right.
was
So quickly, let me see. Yeah, that was a story there. But there's some backstories to this, okay? First of all, the first thing we should do is number one, he's truly a monster. Okay. That story she just told is the story of a monster. We're talking about um his biological daughters. Okay. But there's some backstory here because she's also has been they have been dragging her on the internet for the past few days because she has a backstory and she has a certain type of persona on the internet. Her name is Isis Morales. She's known on YouTube as the Trophy Wife. Mhm. The new Trophy Wife, something like that. You know why? Because she's an advocate for the new feminine. You know, teaching women femininity. What does that really mean? Make sure you go after a man who is rich, uh trophy wife, trophy wife, precisely trophy wife, like don't need to work, you can fly on private jets, you can. As a matter of fact, she actually told a story not too long ago, our last video from some months ago, maybe 8 months or 10 months ago, where she was one of our last videos. I don't know exactly how old it is, but she was telling the story of how she was proposed to by this man that she met 1 week after she met the man. They got married. That's one of the elements of her backstory. She also has talked in one of her videos about how she intentionally got pregnant at the age of 17. Intentionally got pregnant at the age of 17. Okay. She also said in one of her videos that she's a product of SA, the same thing that she's accusing her husband of doing to her daughters. Now, she had 2 or 3 kids before this present husband, but she had 2 daughters for this guy. So these are actually his biological daughter. And just in case you missed that real quick, what she's talking about is that she saw some bruises in the private area of her 4-year-old daughter, and they went through the hospital system, and then they eventually found out that the same thing. She asked the daughter, what happened? That daughter says, Daddy. She went to the hospital. Then they found out that he had actually been doing it to his 2 daughters. One is 4-year-old and the other one is 2 years old. I'm trying to keep this video safe so that it doesn't get slapped. But there's some lessons here that I want us to extract here. Okay. There's some quick lessons that I want us to definitely extract here real quick before I move on. If this story catches fire here, we'll come back and revisit it. But there's something short that I really want to talk about real quick here before we move forward to some other stories. Okay. First thing first is that the act is condemned. It's absolutely condemned. The guy is condemned. At least they need to make sure that they get justice. Okay. But this backstory of her chasing after rich people and then getting married to people, a man that she didn't really know, obviously. How can you know a person in 1 week? That's something that we must highlight, regardless of how many people are going to run around the internet talking about victim shaming. We must highlight that part because of younger people, impressionable mind, that she in particular and another lady that she actually referenced as her mentor. I think her name is Shira 7. The person that invented Sprinkle Sprinkle. As a matter of fact, I think I might have a video for you here. Let me play a video. Let's see. Check this video out.
I'm just going to be 1,000% honest.
That's the lady that's her mentor.
If I were 22 today, I would not be dating black men.
Welcome, Jim Jim.
At all.
There you go.
Unless.
So somebody jump on the internet and publicly say, regardless of their preferences, they publicly say they will not be dating a black man at all. And this is particularly a person who has a subscriber base of 600,000 people, right? Do you think we should tackle that or not?
I'm just going to be 1,000% honest. If I were 22 today,
this is her mentor.
I would not be dating black men.
Not be dating black men
at all.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Unless they were older.
Unless they were older.
out
He
because
also said in other videos that either they're older or they're uglier. The uglier, the better. The older, the better.
they're too feminine these days for me. I like masculine, go get them. I'm gonna pay for that baby type men. Okay, where you want to go on
There's a
vacation.
place in these conversations where, of course, I coach and teach women to learn their essence, their feminine essence, and learn how to use that, right? To facilitate healthy relationships, not just a selfish thing, right? But I mean, can we say this is a direct effect? We can't say that because a monster is a monster. But it's worth highlighting that this is where she's coming from. A couple of other things that she mentioned. Well, by the way, she started to raise some GoFundMe now. By the time she married the guy, she said our lease was getting over, and she told the guy that she needed a place to stay. And one thing led to another, and somehow she got a big ring. Anyway, sprinkle, sprinkle, drizzle, drizzle. This is what we're talking about. See, when you run around the internet and you push different surface level ideas all over the place, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about that we need to start avoiding. Okay, and we need to start talking about them because again, there are grown women and grown men with impressionable mind that will take some of these things and will run with it. Particularly, maybe they've done. I was about to speak pidgin. Maybe they don't collect woto in a previous relationship, so now they are getting cookie cutter solutions and they think that's all it's going to take. Anyway, let me say shout out to Natu for the $10. Natu, this is a good start. This is a good place to start. Thank you so much.
You doing what?
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Natu. I appreciate you. That's a good start. Jim is here. Natu says she's an advocate of marrying rich guys. Okay, so on the surface, of course, I don't want anybody to suffer, but on the surface, already from the get-go, you definitely must highlight that that's definitely the wrong message out there. This lady, her mentor, and the previous lady, they were teaching women to chase after rich people. So she married a rich man, and this is why she ended up marrying a monster. Those two don't have to correlate, but we must highlight that something went wrong there. At least we can see that she didn't get to know the person, right? So she started raising GoFundMe. And don't forget, let me not forget, sorry. She says she has actually been SA'd, assaulted 4 times by this guy earlier on in their relationship. I'm going to leave it at that. I know you guys will tell me more. I'm just going to leave it at that. But these are some of the reasons why I tell you, work on yourself. Work on yourself. I know it sounds like a broken record. Work on yourself because you don't want to become see, the reason why we wrote this book is to warn you so that you don't become a walking red flag. You don't become an easy target. These are the reasons. I'm just saying. Okay, the book is right here. If you read this book, let me show it to you. If you read this book, it's highly unlikely you will end up in this kind of situation because you won't just be learning how to be feminine, you will learn how to actually live in your feminine essence. Those are 2 different things. But anyway, thank you for being here. Shout out to Priscilla. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We got some more to cover. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we are here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.